Today's story comes to us, of course, from California, where a gay history professor, David Richardson of Madera Community College, brought parody chocolate bars as snacks to share at his table display. The chocolate bars were those developed by the Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro. Mock candy company Hershey's are labeled with she, her pronouns for nutless, and of course, he, him have nuts. And the nuts at the California school decided that this was creating an adverse work environment, an unsafe place to work, because somebody brought in candy bars expressing the belief that males have gonads, nuts, and women, they are absent. And of course, they are attempting to stymie his speech, stymie his ability to have opinions. And this is the state of affairs that is in America with these crazy leftists that demand that you fall to your knees and repeat the mantras that they have dictated that are correct for society, or face losing your job. I illustrate this because this is who people are bowing down to. And if you continue to do so, we will only get more of it. We will only have more of this cancel culture that goes essentially in one direction, where those who are in conflict, those whose opinions differ from the leftist orthodoxy, are treated as pariahs, lose their jobs. And the double standard couldn't be more striking. So, for example, in New York, apparently a gay Black homeless man defecated upon a gay pride flag and used another to wipe his bum. It's kind of funny, but he was charged with a hate crime. But you're allowed to burn the American flag. Antifa does it all the time. And I don't support it on a moral grounds. I find it atrocious. But there is something to freedom of speech, and I support it even if I disagree with it. But if you dare to be, in their opinion, rude and to desecrate their symbols, their sacred property, it's a hate crime. Well, for me, the US is a sacred flag that represents freedom. And having lived in 60 countries, or having been to 60 countries and lived in 7 around the world, I have basis to state that the United States is the greatest country, the one with a multicultural environment that is the least overall racist, at least until recently. And the left is intentionally trying to inflame the seeds of racism and have them grow. And it certainly has become a systemically racist country, except for a different race today. But the fact that a Black homeless man is being charged and that this professor is losing his job over expressing an opinion and bringing in a candy bar into school shows you how deep the rot is. And we must all stand up against this. We must all tell these people that they are insane, and we can exile them, maybe keep them all in California, and we have to stop allowing them to hypnotize our children into these beliefs, to be teaching this on a continual basis in public schools, because you see how it has become. And these school children are the ones that are completely indoctrinated into this left-wing ideology, that are calling out the professor, that are saying that the homeless man, who by the way was Black, who defecated, is a hate crime, but it's not a hate crime to burn the American flag. There has to be one level of justice, one first principled rule that we can adhere to. And that rule is freedom of speech. But it doesn't work for the leftists for you to have freedom of speech, but they want to have the freedom to burn the American flag. And again, even though I despise it, I recognize it as free speech. I recognize this as a liberty that people should be allowed to have. But dare defecate on a gay pride flag, and it's a hate crime. Well, this is what we're dealing with, people. We are dealing with a morally deranged, not only up here, but there are no morals, there's no ethos that they adhere to. There's no principle. and they're deranged in the head as well. They're sick, unhappy people that will create hell and misery for you if you were this California professor. They would do the same to you. So stand up now against it. You kill a monster while it's small, and this needs to be snuffed out completely.